My name's Charles Patterson. My company is called ExecSecurity, TSCM, that's Technical Surveillance Countermeasures. I've been working in executive protection field for about 20 years. That is, I used to work in executive protection for about 20 years. Then I moved into the technical surveillance countermeasures field back around 1995. So I've been doing TSCM inspections for over 25 years. Working in executive protection, we realized oftentimes that our clients needed to protect their privacy. This could be board meetings, could be conferences, could just be important telephone calls. And when I was in executive protection, we would call in a sweep team to provide sweeps for a hotel room, for instance, or a conference room. And I took care of a lot of the technical aspects of our security, including radios and various technology. So I always helped the sweep teams when they came in, and I learned a little bit about it. I also realized that there were some people that trying to do sweeps but didn't really understand the technology. So I decided to go to some training on my own. Then in 1995, I started my own company. We work with a number of executive protection professionals. Some clients are corporate clients. Most of our clients are corporate clients, actually. Some are just high net worth individuals. No matter who they are, they value their privacy. And when you're talking about corporate concerns or almost any business concern or a high net worth individual, you're talking about a lot of risk. The assets that are covered in some of their conversations can be very, very valuable. So this is where they need some protection. We look at radio signals. We look at any kind of wired technology that might be in an office, which could be telephones, it could be intercoms, there could be a lot of different things these days, including speaker systems in the ceiling. We try to find any place where there might be a threat where information could leak from a conference room. The tools required, there's quite a variety of tools, from radio spectrum analyzers, other radio receivers, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth detection, infrared technology, also thermal imaging, and a number of other pieces of equipment that are used on a regular basis. So conducting a sweep is not just taking a radio receiver and walking around a room and say, okay, we didn't pick up anything, so we're done. It's very meticulous. We have to take a lot of good records. And the most value comes over time. When we're returning on a regular basis, we'll notice differences. We may notice things that have changed. It could be that someone has maybe opened up an electric outlet and installed something inside an outlet. So we want to check those things too. There's a lot of challenges today with technology. As everyone knows, there's quite a variety of communications means, from Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular, a variety of digital modulation and all types of things. Each one presents its own challenges, so we have to constantly do research, constantly study what the latest technology is, and understand how it can be detected. We have clients all over the United States. We're based in New York, but we travel throughout the United States and occasionally to other countries with proper preparation. A lot of times, people think it sounds like a cool field, and it sounds like that there's a lot of interesting things going on every time, but it's not that often. Similarly, in executive protection, you may train for all types of events, but serious problems don't occur all the time. So a lot of the time, it's pretty routine. What we have to look at is to try to spot anything that's changed or anything that's different. There's three types of reasons why we find clients call us. One is just for regular security, a regular proactive security inspection, to make sure everything's okay. I think of it like going to the dentist. Not everybody likes to go to the dentist, but you're supposed to go every 6 months. If you suddenly have a bad toothache, you hopefully already have a dentist that you can call on right away. So that's helpful. The clients that use us on a regular basis, when they do have an incident or some kind of problem occurs, we're able to respond very quickly. So that's another type of response, is the incident response, when there has been some breach, some loss of information, and they don't know how it happened and they want to protect against it. A third category might be special events, board meetings, regularly scheduled events like that. At board meetings, they could be discussing topics that could be worth billions of dollars to the company. So it's due diligence on their part to make sure that the meeting is conducted completely in private. And that's one of the things that we'll help them with. When we're doing proactive sweeps, we will look for things that are different. Are there any new signals that we didn't see the last time we were there? Maybe there's a new transmitter or something like that. Maybe it's not malicious, but maybe it's leaking information. We found in some meeting rooms they had transmitters for hearing impaired, for someone who's hard of hearing, or for translation, if they have international meetings. But some of those transmitters that they use for translation devices are easily intercepted by just using a scanner sitting in a car outside. So if we've spotted that on numerous occasions, and we have to bring it to their attention. The company knew that information was being leaked. So we came in and we started conducting our inspection, and there was three technicians on the job. And at one point we all came together and said, hey, I found something that's odd. And we compared our notes. In one room, we found a wire coming out from a hole in the wall and stuck into a desk drawer. That's odd. We opened the desk drawer, there's nothing there, just the wire, but it was cut. Another person was checking above the ceiling tiles, and he found a wire splice that was done with like duct tape. In a professional office building, there should not be wires spliced with duct tape. And we saw one color wire on one side, a different color going the other side. The third technician was in one of the conference rooms, and he saw something above the ceiling that he hadn't seen before. When we checked it, the wire coming out of the wall ran into the ceiling, had a terrible homemade splice, and ran to a microphone that was glued to the ceiling tile. So all three things together found that a microphone had been installed in the conference room. And it turned out it was installed by one of the executives in the company. So he lost his job, unfortunately, but he should have known better. So quite often, threats do come from inside. It's a popular phrase is insider threat nowadays. And it's the same for any type of security. You also you have to look inside, because those people already have access. They already have access to the areas sometimes, whether it's cleaning staff, whether it's the executive assistants. Some of them may have grievances with the company. They may have some reason why they're upset. So all these things are constant concerns and constant threats. I think probably the most common mistake made by principals in particular is not understanding the value of their words. They may put a lot of value on their documents. Some don't actually. Document security is a separate issue. But they will spend a lot of money protecting data on their network, on their hard drives. But all that data began at some point in a conversation. So those conversations are important, and it's easy to overlook security, as it is in so many aspects of security. It's the same with privacy and conversations.